Hey guys, and welcome to episode 21 of How I Made My First $1 Million. Today is June 1st, 2022. Assets 134,000, down 36,000 from last month. Liabilities 70,000 unchanged, net worth 64, down 36,000. Yeah. So net worth 64,000. Compared to what it's been lately, that's pretty low. Compared to zero, that's pretty high. Compared to $1 million, not that close. Yeah, 6% of the way there, 6.5 almost. Okay. So how am I feeling? What am I thinking and what am I doing? Well, I'm feeling slightly defeated. I don't know if defeated is the best word, but it's close. Deflated, maybe. Slightly deflated. A little bit, slightly. But also very excited. I am optimistic. I am very much looking forward to the future. So what's interesting about this right here, the assets, is that for the most part, I've chosen to tie my fate, if you will, at least for the past 21 episodes, or the majority of the last 21 episodes, to stuff that has nothing to do with my effort, for the most part, right? It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, precious metals, and I can't control the price of them. What I could have done is, I don't know, put those into just dollars, and it could just sit in dollars, whatever the value was, and I could have the same amount of dollars every month, and I could work a job, right, whether it's full-time, part-time, something else, and make sure that this number goes up every single month. I could do that, and I've done that before in my life. And the whole point of this journey is to let go of that, to embrace the fear that this might go down every month, and this could go down, and this could go down. So this is the goal. I'm doing it. I'm succeeding at the goal. It's yeah, I guess it's weird, but you know, if you want things you've never had, you got to do things you've never done. So yeah. So anyways, this is the journey. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm feeling. Yeah, some good and some bad, but overall, I'm very excited. Okay, what am I thinking? I'm thinking about the long term. So not only, $1 million whenever it happens, which, by the way, I actually don't even think about on a daily basis. And sometimes I don't even think about that number, $1 million, like during these videos. So it's nowhere near the front of my brain. It's like very far back. So anyways, yeah, I don't really think about that very much, but I do think about the long term. So working on projects that will take years to pay off, which may include dollars and it may not. So anyways, so just to connect it to what I said in the last video, I mentioned in the previous video that I've already completed 2 out of my 3 goals for this calendar year, which is start a Bitcoin full node. By the way, it finished syncing at some point this past month, and so it's operational. So that's one goal. Another goal was to start mining Bitcoin, which I started last month, which I mentioned. So that's 2 out of my 3 goals done for the year. The third one is the Bitcoin book. So now I can spend all my energy focused on that, and it's been years in the making. And I might not finish it this year. Might finish it next year. Who knows? But that's a really long-term project. And after that, I have many other long-term projects I'm excited to work on. So anyways, yeah. So what else did I want to say about that? Okay. With regard to mining Bitcoin, I built a soundproof box that has directional airflow in it to vent the hot air. So now I can leave that up and running 24/7, whereas before I turned it off whenever it was too loud for whatever I was doing, if I had to concentrate on something, or if it got too hot, like if it got too hot in my office or whatever room I had it in. Yeah, so I would just turn it off. So anyways, I don't have to do that anymore, which is really nice. So that's one of the things I did this past month, which is build that box, and that took the better part of a week. The most recent week, I actually finished 2 days ago. The first week of the month, I bit off more than I could chew. I wanted to do a lot of writing on my book, and I set these very stretch goals for myself, and as a result, I failed to meet all of them. I pushed myself too far, and it became overwhelming, and I made tiny progress at each one and just failed to meet any of them. So that was a valuable lesson. I've done that many times in the past, and I did it yet again. So hopefully I remember that and set reasonable goals. And then the middle 2 weeks, what happened? I did a little bit of writing. Yeah, not a crazy amount, but again, more bite-sized goals. So another thing I mentioned in the last video was my desire to expand. So I expanded my goals a little bit too much, and I intended to get an Airbnb for the month of May, spend a lot of money, and stay there and really focus on the book, and I decided not to. And it's hard to say why. I guess early in the month, well, the first week I had somewhere else to stay for free, and I stayed there, and it was good. And then after that, I sort of took it one day at a time and said, does it feel right to commit to something today for the remainder of the month? And the answer was no. It wasn't a hell yes. It wasn't a hell yes. And so it became a no. It felt very mediocre. Like, well, it could work. But it felt like I was trying to create a perfect environment in order to get any work done. Like, well, if I don't have a perfect Airbnb with a perfect chair and a perfect desk and perfect lighting and perfect view, then I can't get anything done. It felt like I was making excuses, and I realized, okay, no, you got to get work done no matter where you are. If the neighbors are noisy, if the pets are whatever, if the chair's uncomfortable, you just got to do it. And so I decided to forego the Airbnb and instead just work from the apartment. So I got some work done, in the middle of the month. But we are leaving Florida in 2 days to go up to New York for 3 months. So because of that, because it's such a sizable trip, it actually requires a decent amount of effort to prepare for it. So, packing our stuff, but also what we leave behind. So if I'm going to leave the Bitcoin machine, mining, unsupervised, I have to make sure it doesn't catch on fire, right? And different things like that. So that takes some energy to prepare for, and I have been reluctant to start the next phase of the book because of that. Yeah. So one piece of good news is that I did finish. I mean, in my mind I call it a first draft, but I've done so many first drafts that at some point you got to call it a second draft, a third draft, whatever. So I finished another version of a first draft with this past month and printed it out. So that's a nice stopping point, and I want to actually take a break from the content for a few days before I dive in again. And do I edit what I have? Do I write something new? Do I revisit my overall vision? What do I do? So anyways, progress has been good. It's been good on the book. It's been good on mining. It's been good on dealing with whatever environment I have to work with. And in terms of expansion in general, I did decide to spend more on contact lenses, which is such a funny thing, but I decided to spend double to get lenses that are potentially a better fit, more comfortable, less likely to dry out, and that kind of thing. And I also went to the dentist for the first time in 4 years, which is so funny because I used to go every 6 months. And then I just stopped going for 4 years. And the main reason I stopped going is that I didn't want to spend money out of pocket. I haven't had health insurance, vision insurance, dental insurance. I haven't had any of these insurances for at least 4 years, maybe longer. And I didn't want to spend the money out of pocket. And I always thought, okay, I brush well enough. I take care of my eyes. I don't need a doctor to look at them. But I decided to expand and spend money even though I didn't want to, and I got a clean bill of health everywhere, the eyes, the teeth, everything. So that was good, but I did not spend money on an Airbnb. So, but I did spend a lot of money on the materials to build the soundproof box. Went to Home Depot many times, 4, 5 times. I even drove 2.5 hours to go to a Home Depot just to get one type of material, and then 2.5 hours back. So yeah, it was an all-day trip. Yeah, and the only other thing I'll mention, which I forgot about, is that I went to the Temple of the Universe. The Temple of the Universe. So that is the temple that Mickey Singer founded and built 40 years ago, or 45, maybe 50 years ago, a long time ago, that he mentions in his books, the Surrender Experiment. Well, he mentions it in the Surrender Experiment. I don't think he mentions it in his other books. So anyways, I went there. It was awesome. I met him. It was really cool. I don't really have much to say about it. It was just a great experience, and I can't wait to go back. It's a 2-hour drive for me, so I'll definitely make it back. So anyways, those are my updates. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in a month, and I'll be coming to you from New York. Bye-bye.